What's up, Blazies? It's Casey Ariel, founder of Blaze Group and your host of Blaze Group Radio. I will be talking about the intersections of Black womanhood, entrepreneurship, news on the culture, and healing as we climb. I launched Blaze Group after spending a decade in corporate America structuring multi-billion-dollar loans for large tech firms, but never once working on a deal team with another Black woman. I left to take world-class knowledge to the streets. Blaze means building leaders and accepting zero excuses, and we go beyond the bare minimum. More than solutions, we create lifelines that help Black women become as limitless as they feel. Snuggle up to this episode. May it feel as safe and nourishing as Big Mama's house did. What's up, Blazies? It is Monday, February the 26th. We're in the last week of February, the shortest month of the year. This might bring feelings of anxiousness for some, as the first of the month brings new bills, right? This might bring a sense of relief for some who might be rolling off of contracts or commitments or subscriptions, right, that they're ready to part ways with. Maybe it even brings a sense of monotony to some, where every day is just feeling like the same. You barely know what day it is. Wherever you're sitting and whatever you're sitting with, my goal is to meet you exactly where you are. And to tell you that you are right on time, that you cannot show up late, that you were absolutely made for this, and to urge you to please not quit. Today I want to highlight and celebrate Black women in entrepreneurship. And inside of Blaze, outside of Blaze, as we speak to the public, we always decouple the two but say them together, right? That we represent Black women in entrepreneurship. And we do this on purpose because we understand that it is important to help folk understand the nuance of what it means to be a Black woman in entrepreneurship, a Black woman entrepreneur, to be a Black woman interested in entrepreneurship, right? Like, there's just so much nuance in all of these angles, and if we're not careful, right, the story of the woman, the needs of the woman, the motivations of the woman are lost in her business, are lost in these metrics that we push folk to hit, right, are lost in the website, in the laundry list of to-do lists, right, and things to get done. And so Black women and entrepreneurship, in our opinion, right, are to be honored and approached in such a way where there's enough variety in the way that we tell stories and talk about what's important and encourage folk on this journey, that we pour just as much into the human, if not more, as we do into the business, right? With the tooling and the funding, right? The resources and the templates, the classes, the webinars, etc. Right? And I'm going to use a lot of press around Beyonce as an example of this, right? So Beyonce has just come off of a Renaissance tour, right? But she's launched a hair care line. And man, like, there are so many nuggets around this story that I want to take time to gently unpack with listeners today, right? As we think about Black women in entrepreneurship. One, it is the importance of storytelling and the experiences of our childhood, right? Beyonce, as she talks about this brand, she's talking about remembering how her mother had a makeshift salon in the back of the house, and how women would come, and as she would listen as a little girl, she realized that this was more than a hairstyle, right? This was more than an appointment for the Black women that would come through. This was sanctuary. And many of us can relate to these same types of stories from our childhood that stick with us and are important enough to actually build empires around, to actually cultivate legacy, profitable legacy around. And this does not need to be important to other folk who don't understand us. This does not need to be important to oppressors. It does not need to be important or scrubbed away for the sake of being likable by folk who are hoarding resources. These stories are enough. These moments in our childhood that have shaped us and have cultivated us in such a way that we actually want to continue watering those parts of our lives and our communities and our experiences and our populations and our people and our families, right? It is good enough. I just want to say that, Black woman. It is more than good enough. And Beyonce also has noted that she has self-funded this venture. Now, listen, Beyonce has a whole lot of money. And even folk with a whole lot of money use other people's money. They use other people's money typically to fund their ventures. But Beyonce talks about how she has been for the last 6 years exploring this, cultivating this, testing this, right? She built an in-house salon inside of her home to test this over the last 6 years, following her mother's footsteps, right? Talk about legacy, right? And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Don't wait for permission to heal your relationship with time. With investors, we can move faster. With somebody else's money, we do feel more comfortable taking certain risks. But what is the rush? What is the rush? What is 6 years? What is 12 years? What is the rush? If entrepreneurship is our pathway as Black women to freedom, then what is the rush if along this journey we are learning how to tap into food sovereignty a little better because we kept Big Mama's house and we're planting gardens and learning how to cultivate land and meeting other farmers in the neighborhood and understanding how to trade without external validation, right? What is 6 years if along this journey of entrepreneurship, so that we have greater access to freedom, we've traded in speed for rest and water and exercise, and our minds are clearer and our attitudes are more even-keeled and our relationships are deeper? What is the rush if freedom is the goal? Right? I want us to think about this amongst ourselves very soberly so that we free ourselves to reimagine what entrepreneurship means for us and our families and our communities, so that we don't trade in one oppressive experience for another. What is the rush if our family is willing to take us in for no rent, no rush? Now, what is the embarrassment about? If we are building something that pours back into our community so that we can be community-led in our decision making and have enough trust and connection amongst ourselves that we can actually come together and vote on commercial ventures that are trying to come into our communities, ensuring that folks don't exploit us and extract from our resources. What is the rush? If we are moving outside of individualism and tapping into collectivism and doing things that edify the whole. I celebrate you, Black women. I celebrate entrepreneurship and what it means for us in our plight of protecting our people and reclaiming pieces of our humanity, right? Reclaiming our communities and our understanding of who we are and our history, our futures, our joy, our liberation. May you do well and be well. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to Blaze Group Radio. Remember, you have not yet met all of the people in your life who are going to love you, so keep going. Download the Blaze Group app for day-to-day support on your entrepreneurial journey. Until next time.